Making headlines, Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy Tariq Ibrahim announces a new regulation requiring the installation of propeller guards on vessels operating in territories where whale sharks are active. The Auditor General's Office in a recent audit report identifies considerable weaknesses in the system used by the Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation, potentially allowing illegal registration of vessels. And the family court has disclosed that it intervened in and made rulings concerning financial obligations amounting to over $6.29 million in 2024. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Haalu. Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy Tariq Ibrahim announces a new regulation requiring the installation of propeller guards on vessels operating in territories where whale sharks are active. The measures will be part of efforts to protect the species and its natural habitat sustainably. Speaking on a PSM News program about the efforts being made to maintain the protected areas of the Maldives, the minister said while 93% of the Maldives territory is designated as protected, only 5 locations are actively managed. Of these locations, the South Ari Marine Park, Sampa, in Alif Tal Atoll, the largest protected area in the Maldives, sees significant tourist traffic daily, he noted. Although efforts have been undertaken in the past to manage this area effectively, the efforts have been insufficient, leading to unfortunate incidents in the past, he added. The minister said the new regulation requiring propeller guards is not limited to Sampa, and the protocol has to be followed in other areas where whale shark activity is observed. The protocol will be implemented within the next 3 months, and special speedboat will be active in these areas to monitor the activity of other vessels that take tourists to these sites, he added. Furthermore, all vessels that goes to these areas must be registered within 3 months. Including these measures, the special regulations on protecting whale sharks and their habitat will be gazetted soon, he said. Last year, a legal framework was formulated to protect whale sharks and their natural habitat. The policies include precautions that must be taken in interacting with these creatures and how to manage an injured or unwell whale shark. As per the policy, a distance of 250 meters around a whale shark is considered a contact zone where only 3 vessels can be active at a time. While in these zones, the speed of the vessels must not exceed 5 knots per hour, and when in the vicinity of a whale shark, the speed must not exceed 2 knots per hour. However, in emergency situations where the contact zone must be immediately exited, speed restrictions do not apply. The Ministry of Homeland Security and Technology reveals that the ministry has collected biometric data on 1,455 migrant workers during a program conducted in Male under the Kurangi operation. The program ran from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. with 75 officials from the ministry involved in the task. It focused on migrant workers employed in the education sector as well as those active at the Gulifar site where the Tilamale Bridge project is underway. Biometric data on 697 migrant workers employed at educational institutions in the Male area and 758 employees of Afcons Infrastructure Limited, the company leading the Tilamale Bridge construction, were collected. Among these, no workers were identified as residing in the Maldives illegally, according to the ministry. The program also includes a human trafficking screening component, which will be incorporated into all future activities under Operation Kurangi. In a social media post, the Minister of Homeland Security and Technology, Ali Ihsan, stated that President Dr. Mohammad Muiz in November revealed that the biometric data of 10,000 migrant workers has been collected under Operation Kurangi. Over the past 2 months, data on over an additional 15,000 workers have been recorded, bringing the total to 25,483. The minister expressed confidence that the issue of undocumented migrants in the Maldives will be effectively resolved under a 3-year plan in alignment with President Moises' pledge, with the matter expected to be fully addressed by April 2027. Operation Kurangi, launched on 2nd May 2024, aims to provide a permanent solution to the issue of undocumented migrants in the Maldives. As part of the operation, fingerprints of migrant workers are recorded and checks are conducted to ensure that they are employed in the Maldives in accordance with the relevant rules and regulations. The data collected from across the Maldives through island and atoll councils will be compiled into a unified registry, the Homeland Security Ministry has previously said. Minister of Education Dr. Ismail Shafiu asks local schools to organize extracurricular activities in a way that does not disrupt the education of its students. The minister made these remarks at the forum being held on organizing extracurricular activities in schools across the country.
Speaking at the opening ceremony of 2-day school activity calendar forum, Minister Shafiu pointed out that some schools were organizing more activities which is having an adverse impact on learning and education of students. So the minister urged educators to utilize this forum to find a way to conduct extracurricular activities without disrupting the education of the students. He said that students' learning must come first and teachers and students' welfare must be considered. He stressed the importance of making parent community participation hassle-free and considering the geographical dispersion of the Maldives. The minister noted the importance of sports and other physical activities in the education system, but insisted that such activities must not disrupt the primary objective of educating children. The forum, being held until Sunday, is attended by 92 participants across relevant sectors including teachers, principals, sports supervisors, local councils, civil society organizations and officials from both the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Islamic Affairs.
Ministry of Social and Family Development reveals that the government is aiming to expand the Haalu Kihineh program nationwide this year.
The initiative, launched in May last year, involves visiting residents across all islands in the Maldives to assess their well-being, identify individuals in need and provide necessary services. Providing the latest updates on the initiative on a programmed ad on PSM News, Deputy Minister of Social and Family Development Naziha Ahmed said ministry officials have visited over 10,000 households in Hulumale in 14 different atolls and inquired about the well-being of its residents. She said that it's a great achievement to visit 10,000 households and families in 7 months. According to Naziha, the program has been largely well received by the public, as they can share their concerns and grievances directly with officials of the ministry. Naziha said this year the ministry aims to expand the program to the whole country. In light of the information gathered by visiting families, a seminar will be held with all relevant stakeholders to identify ways to work together, she said. The ministry is working closely with public service institutions, relevant agencies, atoll councils, local island councils and WDCs to conduct the program. The goal is to visit every household in the Maldives within a year to identify individuals requiring special assistance from the state. Individuals requiring immediate help can also contact the ministry's call center at 1433. The ministry's teams will continue household visits to provide necessary assistance. The Haalu Kihineh program initially began in Hulumale. In alignment with President Dr. Mohamed Moises' vision of fostering a compassionate society, the program aims to strengthen relationships and build trust between the government and the citizens.
The Auditor General's Office, in a recent audit report, identifies considerable weaknesses in the systems used by the Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation, potentially allowing illegal registration of land and marine vessels. The extensive audit report, which reviewed the Ministry's operations and management from September 2021 to August 2023, and efforts to improve these operations from 2018 to 2023, revealed significant control deficiencies and systematic issues. The report outlines significant control issues with the ministry's metric system for land and marine vessel registration. These weaknesses have facilitated the misuse of the system, potentially increasing opportunities for unlawful vessel registration, the report said. The audit further revealed that the ministry employed a range of integrated systems to deliver its services. This fragmented approach necessitated extensive manual work beyond the system, leading to significant delays in service delivery, the Auditor General's Office stated in its report. The audit found that attempts to modernize the ministry's system were hindered by extensive delays, failing to resolve long-standing issues. Additionally, the dedicated system for marine vessel registration was not utilized during the audit period, according to the report. The ministry's effort to introduce a system integration and management system SIMS failed to address persistent issues within its existing systems, according to the Auditor General's report. Additionally, the audit revealed that the ministry lacked a comprehensive framework for IT oversight and had not published a long-term upgrade plan for its IT systems. The audit highlighted widespread public dissatisfaction with the ministry's services, noting a significant number of complaints. Despite systems in place for handling public queries via email and telephone, the report stated that the lack of dedicated policy for operating the ministry's call center resulted in diminished service standards and eroded public trust. The audit further disclosed that certain staff duties were reassigned to other personnel without prior notification. Additionally, no capacity building or training programs were conducted for ministry staff during the audit period. The family court discloses that it intervened in and made rulings concerning financial obligations amounting to over $6.29 million in 2024. This figure includes cases and settlement orders for various financial responsibilities addressed by the court during the year. The financial obligations covered by the court include child support, nafaka al-idda, maintenance after divorce, nafaka al-hamal, financial support during pregnancy and childbirth, and meher, marriage gifts. In 2024, the court issued rulings that imposed approximately $6.29 million in financial obligations on defendants. According to the statistics, the court collected approximately $3.03 million in financial obligation payments during 2024. The court also disbursed around $3.08 million in funds collected in 2023 as financial obligation payments in 2024, it said. The court issued 12,096 summons for individuals to appear at various hearings in 2024, with 4,101 cases relating to these hearings. The court also received 227 cases related to family disputes, resolving 119 of them amicably. The court also facilitated 6 written agreements to resolve conflicts between spouses and address child support issues. The family court's marriage awareness program saw 3,428 participants, including 1,746 men and 1,682 women, statistics shows. In 2024, the court conducted 2,486 marriage ceremonies, while 181 marriages conducted abroad were registered with the court. The statistics also revealed that 117 rulings were issued to prevent domestic violence and protect children's rights. The Environment Protection Agency EPA warns against the illegal feeding of rays protected in different parts of the Maldives amid a growing trend of such illegal feedings.
EPA said all ray species in the Maldives are protected under the Protected Species Regulation, which prohibits all action that can harm these creatures. The agency noted that feed-in rays can adversely affect their natural behavioral patterns and habits as backed by research. While viewing the species and diving with these creatures are popular among local and tourists visiting the Maldives, such actions can cause significant danger to humans, including injuries and fatalities, warned EPA. The primary reason for such incidents is the large volume of sharks attracted to such feeding sites. While incidents of shark bites and stinger-related injuries have been reported, such incidents could negatively affect tourism, the EPA said. EPA noted that it has received complaints from concerned tourists visiting the Maldives regarding feeding rays and sharks, requesting to put a stop to such actions. The agency has urged all ray-related activities to be conducted in accordance with the rules and regulation in place, ensuring that all such activities are safe and environmental friendly. Actions will be taken against those who violate the regulations, EPA warned.
Island Aviation Services Limited (IASL) says that Mafaro International Airport in Noon Atoll witnessed a remarkable increase in private jet traffic, recording 98 movements in December 2024.
Inaugurated in 2019, Mafaro Airport has operated as an international hub since 1 July 2020. To enhance its capacity, the airport is undergoing an extensive expansion project, necessitating the closure of its runway and apron from June to September 2024. Following the completion of its runway expansion work, the airport resumed international operations in October 2024. IASL highlighted the reopening of the airport and the end of 2024 as a period of significant achievements. Since its reopening, the airport has handled the landing of 98 private jets, highlighting its increase in prominence and enhanced capacity to manage higher traffic volumes, according to the operator. Mumtaz Ali, the general manager of IASL, said that the timely completion of runway expansion project ahead of the peak holiday season marked a significant milestone. He credited the airport's success to the dedicated efforts of its staff, who are committed to innovations and delivering exceptional services. He said that the company had introduced new services, including land transportation. According to him, development work on the apron is ongoing, and the company is prepared to bring significant achievements to the airport, expanding services for customers. Situated near several high-end tourist resorts in the Nono, Ra and Ba Atoll, Mafaro Airport accommodates a significant influx of tourists, especially those traveling by private jets. As part of airport's development initiative, the runway was extended to 2,800 meters to accommodate international aircrafts, including the Airbus A320, Boeing 737 and Boeing 777. The ongoing apron expansion, contracted to Maldives Transport and Contracting Company Limited, MTCC, will increase the airport's parking capacity from 13 to 26 jets. Outfitted with modern facilities to accommodate both domestic and international passengers, Mafaro Airport ensures a high standard of service, thereby enhancing the overall travel experience. Strategically located within the luxury tourism zone, the airport plays a crucial role in promoting tourism and economic development. It offers more convenient and expedited access to a range of high-end resorts, solidifying the airport's status as a key travel hub in the region.
U.S. stocks rallies to close out a strong week on optimism over the health of the economy and path of interest rates as investors braced for a slew of policy changes under the incoming Trump administration.
The S&P 500 and Dow Industrials registered their biggest weekly percentage gains since early November, and the Nasdaq recorded its best since early December. The Commerce Department reported that U.S. single-family home building rose to a 10-month high, although demand will likely be curbed by rising mortgages rates in an oversupply of new properties.
I think the impetus for stock strength today, and frankly, this entire week, has been the strength of the economic data coming in for the US, combined with the pretty benign inflation prints we've gotten this week, both producer prices and core CPI. Surprise to the downside, which is a good thing for stock investors right now and a good thing for the economy as well. We had retail sales come in pretty strong. We've seen house prices do pretty well this week. Industrial production was an upside surprise. So you put all this, you put all these data points together, and really what it points to is a bit of a continuation of the Goldilocks theme that we saw for much of 2024, which is very solid economic growth, but not so hot that the Fed put, so to speak, is totally off the table in terms of seeing interest rate cuts here in 2025. So that's a pretty good backdrop for stock investing, in my opinion.
A separate report revealed a surge in manufacturing output last month. President-elect Donald Trump will be inaugurated on January 20th, when U.S. markets will close for the Martin Luther King Jr. Day holiday. The S&P 500 gained 59.32 points or 1.00% to end at 5,996.66 points, while the Nasdaq Composite gained 291.91 points or 1.51% to 19,630.20. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 334.7 points or 0.78% to 43,487.83.
Iran unveils what state TV says was an underground naval missile base at an undisclosed Gulf location 2 days before the start of Donald Trump's second term as president. It was unveiled at a time when tension with Washington is widely expected to rise. Iranian leaders are concerned that Trump might empower Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to strike Iran's nuclear sites while tightening U.S. sanctions on its oil industry through his maximum pressure policy. State television showed Revolutionary Guards Chief General Hossein Salami visiting the secret base during war games. He said it was one of several built underground for vessels capable of launching long-range missiles and carry out distant warfare. State television said the base was built at a depth of 500 meters somewhere in the Gulf, and it showed tunnels with long rows of what it said were a new version of Atare-class radar evading speedboats which can launch cruise missiles. Earlier this month, Iran stated military exercises that are due to last 2 months and have already included war games in which the Revolutionary Guards defended nuclear installations in Natanz against mock attacks by missiles and drones. Iran, which says its ballistic missiles are an important deterrent and a retaliatory force against the US and Israel, has in the past unveiled several underground missile cities. Defending champion Jannik Sinner steals a 6-3, 6-4, 6-2 win against unseeded American Marcos Giron and reaches the 4th round of the Australian Open. Danish 13th seed Holger Rune beat unseeded Serbian Miomir Kesamanovic 6-7, 6-3, 4-6, 6-4, 6-4 in 3.5 hours to reach the last 16. Former French Open and Wimbledon quarter-finalist Rune will take on world number 1 Jannik Sinner in the 4th round. Sinner and the 21-year-old Rune are even at 2 wins apiece in their 4 previous encounters, with the Italian winning the most recent 2. Ukrainian 28th seed Elina Svitolina stormed through the final set to defeat Italian 4th seed Jasmine Paolini 2-6, 6-4, 6-0. Former quarter-finalist Svitolina will face Veronika Kudermetova in the last 16. Twice semi-finalist Madison Keys defeated fellow American and former runner-up Danielle Collins 6-4, 6-4 in 1 hour and 23 minutes to earn her place in the last 16. Collins seeded 10th, Hart Herney during the second set. Keys, the 19th seed, will face former Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina next. That concludes news for now. Thank you for watching PSM News. Have a good day.
ಮಗುಮತಿಗೆ ಸಲಾಮತ ರಕ್ಕಾತಿರಿಕ ಮಂಗೆದಿಫಾವಾ ಕವಾದುತಕ ಸಮಾಲು ವೆಲವ್ವ ಫಿಹಾರತಕ ಮಿಸ್ಕಿತವ್ವಣ್ಣ ದೊರು ಬಂದುವಾಗುತ್ತ ಪಾಕು ನುಕುರವ್ವ